Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Amirah Binti Azizon and my metric number is 273428 and I will be the first presenter for our group, which is Stevedore. I will explain about introduction in our report, and first thing first, I will talk about transportation. Transportation in supply chains refers to the transportation of item from one point to another, beginning with the development of the supply chain where resources arrive at warehouses and continuing all the way to the end user with the customer purchase delivered directly to their door. Because transportation is important to a company's success, it must be incorporated in the supply chain management strategy. Choosing a route is also important in choosing which order are sent, where, and in what sequence. Time is valuable, and a route planning system may drastically reduce the time it takes to schedule the transportation routine. A route planning solution not only saves mileage, but also carbon pollution, return on asset, fuel consumption, and customer service. Mohd is a new shipping line company where people need to decide for transportation routes, whether to use water transportation by Royal Road Suez Canal or Northern Sea Roads NSR or via Trans-Siberian Railway routes. So, the purpose of this study is to analyze the three transportation possibilities and determine which routes will be the best choice for the Mohd's first trip conveying a container load from Northern Asia to Northern Europe. Okay, so let's move on to the first route, which is Suez Canal. The Suez Canal is a manufactured canal that runs through Egypt, sorry for the wrong pronunciation, of Suez from north to south. The Suez Canal connects the Mediterranean and Red Seas, offering the fastest maritime routes from Europe to Asia. It quickly became one of the world's busiest maritime routes once it opens in 1869. The Suez Canal connects port site on Egypt Mediterranean Sea to the Egyptian city of the Suez over a distance of 120 miles, which is located on the northern shores of the Gulf of Suez. The canal links most of Egypt to the Sinai Peninsula, and it took 10 years to build. The canal was just 8 meters or about 26 feet deep, 22 meters or 72 feet wide at the depths, and 61 to 91 meters or 200 to 300 feet wide at the top when it was opened in 1869. In 2014, the Egyptian government conducted an 8 billion expansion project that increased the width of the Suez Canal from 61 meters to 312 meters across a 21-mile stretch. It took a year to complete the operation, and as a result, ships could move in both directions at the same time. Overall, an estimate of 50 ships sail over the river daily, carrying over 300 million tons of cargo each year. Okay, next I want to talk about Northern Sea Routes or NSR. The Northern Sea Routes or NSR is a shipping route that travels across the Russian shore of Siberia and the Far East, going through 5 Arctic seas, which is the Chakhi Sea, the Barents Sea, the East Siberian Sea, the Kara Sea, and lastly is the Laptev Sea. The section of the Northeast Passage between the Kara and Bering Straits that is icebound for bulk of the year is the most difficult for ships to navigate. However, the Soviet Union and later Russia built and maintained a visible canal approximately 3,500 miles or 5,600 kilometers in length. However, the mileage varies substantially depending on the path chosen through the most challenging stretch of the voyage. By 2020, Norway's Northern High Logistics Centre (CHNL) Logistic Foundation had logged 62 complete cargo journeys over the North Sea routes. In comparison, 37 shipments were made in 2019. According to CHNL, the number of ships using the North Sea routes increased in 2020 from 277 to 331. Lastly, Trans-Siberian Railway. The Trans-Siberian Railway is one of the most incredible works of technology in contemporary history. It is the longest railroad line in the world, having been constructed in 1891 and completed 100 years ago today. The 5,772-mile railroad connects Moscow to the Pacific coast city of Vladivostok. By 2010, the amount of trade between Russia and China might approach 60 million tons or 54 million tons, with the Trans-Siberian Railway carrying the lion's share of it. That's all for my part, and I will pass this presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Dr. Alisha and fellow friends. My name is Nurul Wahida Binti Hasnol. My metric number is 269988. Now, I'm going to present about the literature review in this assignment. A maiden voyage is a ship's or a spacecraft's first journey. The term maiden voyage refers to a ship, airplane or other moving vehicle first excursion out to sea, into the sky or over land for a specific purpose. It may also be used to describe a person's first encounter with something. Since mid-1500, the phrase maiden has been used to describe the first time doing anything. However, it wasn't until 1901 that the term maiden voyage was used to denote the first time a ship set sail for its original purpose. The other term for the maiden voyage is the first journey or first voyage. Now, let's move on to the transportation route. In this research, there will be 3 transportation routes that will be discussed in proposing the best route for NOHEX to transport the container shipment. The transportation route are Suez Canal, Northern Sea Road, NSR, and Trans-Siberian Railway. Shipment via truck, ship, train, and plane, or often known as road, marine, and rail, and air shipment, are the 4 basic modes of transportation in logistics. A transportation route is a path that a regular flow of person or goods travel. On the Earth's curving surface, it should ideally go to the shortest distance possible, which is a straight line or a big circle. Route may divide from straight lines in order to connect the intermediate traffic sources or avoid crossing particular political borders. The first transportation route are the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal may be traced back to the Pharaonic period where canals were built. City 1, Necho 2, King Darius, Ptolemy II, Emperor Trajan, and Emro ibn Ilas reopened and enlarged this abandoned canal that connect the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea with the Nile River. The Isthmus of Suez is an artificial trade canal in Egypt that connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea and divides Africa and Asia. The Suez Canal is a vital supply link, transporting 13.5% of global freight. The marine freight flows between Europe and Asia, as well as Suez Canal projected growth direction. The expenses of tanker utilizing the Arctic route against the standard Suez Canal were compared, and it was shown that small tankers favors the Northern Sea route. The rate of bulkers traveling from the Suez Canal to Northern Sea route discovered that summer journeys may be profitable for bulkers. The Suez route connect Asia and Europe, passing through the Strait of Malacca, Bab el-Mandab, the Suez Canal, and the Straits of Gibraltar. Second, we have Northern Sea Road. Northern Sea Road is defined as the historic national transportation line of the Russian Federation in the Arctic zone. The Northern Sea Road is one of the longest and most significant marine transport route in the Russian Federation. The use of NSR for bulk shipping remain risky because of too harsh weather conditions and the significant risk of maritime contamination. NSR has gotten a lot of interest in recent years since it saved up to 40% of the sailing distance between Yokohama and Rotterdam as compared to the typical Suez Canal route. The NSR is profitable, especially when it is navigable for extended period of time. Due to the vulnerable Arctic ecosystem, a significant amount of environmental study must be completed prior to the initiation of commercial use of the NSR as a major international transit route. Last but not least, we have the Trans-Siberian Railway, or TSR. TSR is a railway network that connects Western Russia and Russia the Far East. It is the world's longest railway line, stretching over 9289 kilometers from Russia's capital, Moscow, to Vladivostok, which is located in the Sea of Japan. The railway system is still expanding with connecting trains heading to Asia, especially Mongolia, China, and North Korea. The TSR connectivity between the Far East port and the EU can attract more freight and boost competitiveness over alternative transport routes such as the Suez Canal. The high cargo volume, in particular, contributes to the economy of scale, resulting in the rail network's cost competitiveness. TSR is around 6213 miles shorter and has a 20-day lead time than the Suez Canal. The Trans-Siberian Railway, which runs from Vladivostok to Moscow, is an alternate route that connects Europe and Pacific Ocean. Finally, the Northern Asia and Northern Europe. Northeast Asia is a word that is commonly used to describe an area that encompasses northern China. Northern Asia includes Mongolia, Russian Far East, Japan, South Korea, North Korea, and among other countries and territories. Although the scope of Northern Europe is defined differently, Northern Europe is made up of 10 sovereign nations. Scandinavia, the British Isles, the Baltic area are the three regions that make up these countries. So that's all from me, and now let's move on to another presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Najwa Shuhada Binti Muhammad Nasir and my metric number is 271848. The first road is Trans-Siberian Railway. Facilities. The standard railway gauge size that is being used by China and Western Europe is 1435 mm. The 1520 mm is a broad gauge that usually used by Russia, Mongolia and Finland. Finland also uses 1524 mm gauge. The Russian border has built a warehouse for the storage goods that are being delivered from Northern Europe. Time taken, speed and distance. The distance using this railway is 5,375 nautical miles that takes about 18 to 20 days. The Trans-Siberian Railway can increase the speed level for the cargo shipment arriving at the final destination at the right time. There will be no traffic congestion as the railway roads have their own rail other than maritime transportation, road transportation and air transportation. Economic. The support from the government such as giving out subsidies can help Northern Asian and Northern Europe to do the cargo shipments. Subsidies can be obtained from any program that is made by the countries to support the users of Trans-Siberian Railway in their country. The cost of tariff can be more expensive than the cost of the shipment. Volume capacity. The cost for using the road is $1,800 up to $2,200 per TEUs, but there can be a problem if they are returned with empty cargo as the empty cargo is not calculated in the profit. Weather and environment. Trans-Siberian Railways thus has a problem in terms of weather, but in winter, certain types of cargo cannot be accepted as some cargo require different temperatures. For the environment, the government of Russia is tightening the rules for environmental protection to make it easier to cross-border trade. The second route is Northern Sea Route. The facilities. They have poor condition of facilities as they are in Arctic Ocean. The facilities that are provided are limited, especially when it comes to the communication. Other than that, the facilities are the ice-breaking fleet, port infrastructure, security and technical safety. Economic. The Russian government wants to make the Northern Sea Road as an efficient operating waterway. The development of the Northern Sea Road will increase the economic level of the country. The Russian Marine Register of Shipping for vessels will approve the application from the shipping line before they use the route. Time taken, speed and distance. The Northern Sea Road from Northern Asia to Northern Europe is 7,700 nautical miles long, which takes about 18 to 20 days. The speed for the vessels is average, which is around 17 to 24 knots. Volume, capacity and cost. The carrying capacity of the cargo container per year is 39,000 tons. The ice breaking escort needs to be paid by the shipping line. The fees depends on the size of the ship, the level of support needed, and also the voyage route. Weather and environment. Northern sea routes are mostly covered with ice because of the geographical area which is located in the Arctic Ocean. The hydrocarbons that occur at the Northern Sea Road due to overmining activities lead to global warming and also melting the ice at the Arctic Ocean. The third route is Suez Canal. Facilities. The Suez Canal has created an industrial center, seaports, technology valley, and a supply and logistic area. The Egyptian government has expanded the Suez Canal to increase the number of container cargo vessels. The routes become two ways, one for the passenger ships and the other for cargo ships. Economic. Suez Canal is facing an issue, which is the mega vessel cargo container getting stuck between the canal. It is a risk for the global economy, especially since it happened during the pandemic of COVID-19. Time taken, speed and distance. The time taken using the Suez Canal from Northern Asia to Northern Europe is about 8 to 10 days, which is length 10,200 nautical miles. The speed for the cargo container vessels is 24 knots. Volume capacity. The cargo volume capacity for a vessel to pass through the Suez Canal can be large, medium, and small vessels. There is also an additional cost, which is the toll cost that needs to be paid according to the size and type of the cargo vessels. The recorded carrying capacity is at 134,400 tons, with capacity supply is 124,800 TEUs. Weather and environment. The Suez Canal has a polluting sector that is expanding at a rate that is outpacing the boundaries of a livable Earth. It has resulted in an increase in plastic garbage dumping, oil spills, and the global spread of exotic species.
Assalamualaikum to Dr. Alisha Binti Ismail. My name is Nuraqilah binti Fuad Salehuddin, metric number 272738. Now, I'll be continuing with the discussion part, which is the first one is on facilities. Eurasia had the wide opportunity to develop as a single market, as well as the growth opportunities for European because of the integrated emerging trade between the Northern Asian. According to Table 1, it is shown that the railway gauge for the countries such as China and Western Europe is 1035 mm, while Russia, Mongolia, Finland and other Central Asia countries adopt the same railway gauge size at 1520 mm, and Finland sometimes use size at 1525 mm. This shown that China used the standard gauge size while the Central Asia countries and Finland use the broad gauge. As the SR is always used to tranship goods such as the container goods, therefore sizes of gauge is important, like the broader gauge, which is reliable to handle the heavier and faster traffic. Two gauge changes were required to move cargo from China to Germany, which is the first one is the switch of the China standard gauge to Russian broad gauge, and the second one is by switching the Russian broad gauge to the European standard gauge. In terms of documentation requirement, the Eurasian Northern Corridor require consignment note as the most vital document for rail transport. Other than that, the required documents are the packing list, commercial invoices, quarantine inspection requirement, and so on. However, sometimes the lack of harmonization of the document can cause delay of the cargo or detentions at the borders. Through Finland, there is bonded warehouses installed near Finnish Russian border that is user-friendly and easy to use. These Finnish bonded warehouses store cargo temporarily for shippers that are using TSR European Transit Route as well as the Deep Sea Route. By doing some research on the Northern Sea Route facilities, it can be said that this route is complicated and used by comparatively small number of ships. After the collapse of the former Soviet Union, this route's infrastructure, especially at the Russia's northern port, is in poor condition. But there are several facilities and infrastructure to be mentioned, such as the icebreaker ship, seaports, ice information and ice forecasting, communication and navigational aids, and accident preparedness, and also provide ship repair facilities. Through the Suez Canal or the Royal Road, current facilities and infrastructure that are being developed and available along this route is the expansion of the road width, which then enable two-way route of ships convoys, which is from the southbound and northbound of the canal. This canal, unlike the Panama Canal, which has no locks and make it easier for ships to slip right through. There are another expansion project called New Suez Canal that runs into parallel direction to the original one to accommodate the maximum number of ships that are expected to double from 50 to 97 daily. In addition, the Egypt government had also increased the maritime component. From the economic perspective of the TSR, subsidies program had increased the interest of traders and shipping companies to use these routes. Despite Russian government also offered a lower tariff on these types of Eurasian land bridge, which then will reduce the attraction of shipping companies rather than use the air and water transport. In the Northern Sea Route, the Russian government had intervened in the development as to make this route efficient in terms of the waterway operation, such as integrate this route as an international transport corridor. Indeed, the Russian government also had imposed laws and regulations for the ice-class vessels. For Suez Canal, the blockage incident occurred during the midst of COVID-19 pandemic on the 23rd March of 2021 had caused a major impact to the international trade, as the route, also known as one of the busiest and important trade route in the world due to the global shortcut performance. As a result, it caused a huge loss, approximately $9.6 billion during the 6 days of blockage, and the responsible party of the ship had to pay $900 million for the compensation that had ruled by the Egyptian court. This economic problem can be seen as the weaknesses of the Suez Canal, which then forced shipping companies to shift and seek for the alternative route. By comparing between the three routes, TSR and NSR have the same lead time, which is 18 to 20 days, while Royal Road will take the longest time within 28 to 30 days. Through distance, TSR have the shortest distance at 5,375 nautical miles, followed by NSR at 7,700 nautical miles, and the Royal Road is the longest at 10,200 nautical miles. In terms of speed, TSR have the fastest average speed at 54 knots, followed by the Suez Canal at 24 knots, and the longest speed will adopt by NSR at 17 to 24 knots due to the iceberg structure. Through the analysis made, Suez Canal have the biggest average carrying capacity and capacity supply within a year at 134,400 tons and 124,800 TEU respectively, followed by NSR and TSR. While through cost, Suez Canal offer the cheapest cost per TEU around $1,400 until $1,800 compared to TSR and NSR. According to the different climate change, each of the route, TSR and Suez Canal have more advantage to carry various types of goods, unlike the NSR that travel through the cold area the whole time, which not suitable for certain of goods. And in terms of the environmental conscious, among the three routes, using TSR is less likely to cause a major pollution rather than NSR and Suez Canal. Thus, it can be concluded that among those factors, the Suez Canal is the most efficient route to be used by Mohd's company for the time being.
Assalamualaikum and a good day. My name is Syafiah Binti Rosli. My matrix number 273370. In conclusion, Sea transportation is very important, particularly for multinational businesses. Even the supply chain managers are looking at the supply chain operations to ensure that everything is running well. The container shipping logistics chain is important to carriers, shippers, vendors, wholesalers, and others in the supply chain. This is because the rail, highway, and port processes impact their revenues and expenses. Sea transport also looks to be more cost-effective and ecologically friendly. This is also one of the many examples of how crucial maritime transportation is to a variety of sectors in the world. Of course, global risks such as the global economic balance and its changes, geopolitical risks leading to the devaluation of WTO norms, and the politicization of economic relations between the world's leading economies, and the impact of factors such as the COVID-19 pandemic on the orientation and the structure of the freight flows remain. In order for the researchers to have a clearer picture and can write a research paper very well, there are some recommendations of it. It is recommended that the researchers do the idealization before starting writing the research study. During the idealization phase, all the members in the group have to give their opinion and their own ideas. Then, the researchers can do further discussion to decide on what resource that they would use as the main reference throughout the research paper. It is advisable to widen the resource of data for future research study. There are a lot of articles and journals that the researchers may find in the internet and use them. However, the researchers are advised to find the resources from other publications too, such as from the websites. This way, it can help the future researchers in the future as they have wider knowledge through these resources. Since the sea transport in recent years has become a complicated industry, it requires the deployment of cutting-edge technology to ensure that its operations run smoothly. It is recommended for the route, especially Northern Sea route, to use VHF radio for the ship-to-ship communication, since this route is having difficulty with the limited communication. It is called a digital selective calling, DCS, developed digitally remote control orders for transmitting and receiving distress alerts, urgent or safety calls, and also routine priority communications. It is advisable for ship operators to use the digital real-time route management. Real-time route management has the potential to reduce the travel time and increase the efficiency. Given the length of time that the ships are at sea and the chance that ocean conditions in all the routes stated might change dramatically in a matter of hours, it is important for ship operators to have access to this. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it is not a good idea for the shippers to transport documents in paper form. In this circumstance, it is preferable to use e-documents during COVID-19 pandemic. It can also eliminate a large number of paper documents, resulting in the yearly savings of billions of dollars. As technology becomes more widely used, all parties' adoption costs may decrease too. And lastly, since late 2020, shipping costs have increased in part due to the shortage of containers. Other countries are remain under national lockdown and restrictions, while Asian countries are slowly recovered. This has been preventing importing countries from returning the cargoes. According to our recommendation, the empty containers should be reloaded and repositioned to the exporting countries back. The empty containers should be returned to the system where they are required the most. As a result, the shipping costs will be reduced and the delay time could have been reduced as well.
That's all from our group. Thank you.